Shani Abadi. I'm a member with Answer Coalition, and I'm here to protest the increase in combat troops to the Middle East, the decades of U.S. intervention in the Middle East. We're here with the people to rise up and take action and demand that we take our U.S. troops out and we stop the horror and desecration of impending war on Iran, Iraq, and everywhere else around the world.
Who's the biggest threat in the world today?
Donald Trump in the USA!
Who's the biggest threat in the world today?
Donald Trump in the USA!
There's a lot of people who are advocating the war and saying that this is a good thing and saying that we need to escalate it. Well, you know, what do all those people have in common that are advocating for the war? What do they all have in common? They're all rich. And I don't mean just rich, I mean rich. I don't mean like drive a fancy car rich, I mean like they don't drive their own car rich.
You know, we've been bombing Iraq for the past 30 years. And throughout that time, the rationale has always changed, right? We have to defend Kuwait, we have to get out Saddam, we need to build a democracy, we need to fight ISIS, we need to fight Iran. There's all these different changing rationales, but they're all lies. I mean, the real constant rationale is that the United States is a capitalist country, and capitalism can only survive by continually expanding profits, continually seizing new markets, new places to invest capital. And in this stage of monopoly capitalism, you can't do that without invading countries and taking over and knocking down countries that aren't already within the US capitalist orbit. And so if you really understand that whatever rationale they give for being in Afghanistan, being in Iraq, being in Syria, confrontation with North Korea, overthrowing the government in Venezuela, they all come down to whether or not those countries are absorbed into US capitalism. And if they're not, they're on the chopping block.
So we know that a lot of the money that it's being spent by the Pentagon and by the government in these wars could be very useful to ensure that everybody in the United States has health care, that has affordable housing, that have access to clean water. A lot of the issues that we have in a lot of our communities are products of all these corporations that are also investing in war.
Not more war and occupation! Not more war and occupation!
It's amazing to see so many people out here today, to see, you know, protests all over the nation and around the world. I think it shows that the people are not going to stand for another Iraq. We were lied to already, we were manipulated already, and the lies are just repeating, and we cannot afford another war. We cannot afford young children to be sent off to die for imperialist gains again.
Every war of my lifetime has been bullshit, from Vietnam to Grenada to the first Gulf War to the second, to Libya to Syria to Venezuela, Bolivia, now Iran. All wars are bullshit. All wars are bullshit. All wars are bullshit. All wars are bullshit. All wars are bullshit.
I just want to say to anyone who's serving in the US military right now, you have the absolute legal and moral right to refuse to take part in anything having to do with the new escalation for war in Iraq and Iran. Myself and all the people, all of my friends from the military, all of us agree that if we had just said no to going to the Iraq war, our lives would be a lot better, and the lives of the Iraqi people would be a lot better. And so you are in that position now, and you can say no. And in fact, dozens of soldiers have already reached out to us to file conscientious objector packets and exercise all the other rights that you have available to you to not take part in this. And so if you're in the military, you're in a unique position. You don't need to go along with this, and in fact, you can play an important role in stopping it from happening.